Hey everybody, happy Friday. I know it's been a while since I've posted anything. I had to take care of my personal vehicles. One of them, the AC went out, ended up having to replace the condenser. Got that taken care of last weekend, worked a full week of plumbing, and now it's time to have some fun. This is our weekend project right here. 2020 Hellcat. It's in for a one-step and ceramic coat. It's gonna turn out really great. I'm not sure, looks like the camera's picking it up. You can see there's a little bit of marks from wipe down, a little bit of scratch and swirl. That is gonna come right out. And man, I'm just so excited. This is such a beautiful color. I'm gonna do quite a bit more video editing with this one and try to really take y'all along for the ride as much as I can as I continue to do all these projects. So, y'all watching, and here we go. All right, good morning everybody. It's just a hair after 6. Got the old Hell Kitty pulled out of the garage. It's always fun trying to get these things catty-cornered in there and out. But just like I said when I told you all about the town car going out to do that red truck, balling on a budget. Ain't taking $1 million work. But we're getting a nice, bright and early start because it is supposed to get up to, I think, just under 100 degrees before the heat index. And down here in the south, that humidity and that heat index ain't no joke. So we're gonna try to stay well today. Got my cooler filled up, some water, and we're gonna get cracking on this. One thing that I do want to note, well, two things I do want to note. One for the video is that windshield is cracked, and which is unfortunate, it sucks. But for those that are washing these, I'm not sure if any of the other models have this hood, but on this side, where is it? There it is. It goes down to the air intake. So, as you can, there it is. So we're gonna stuff some rags in that, just to make sure that we're not getting any water down into the intake. Keep this kitty purring. Alright, so upon washing this thing, started to notice it beads up really well, which is leading to this thing might already have a ceramic coating on it, which, since we're installing our coating instead, we're going to have to remove this coating, which is going to prove to be a little bit more difficult than just doing a regular paint correction, because we actually have to break through that layer of coating and then correct all the, you know, little scratches and swirls. So nothing we can't handle. It's probably a dealership installed one, which they don't really stick all that well anyways. Not the greatest. So we're gonna go ahead and clay bar this thing, and we'll get it pulled back inside. Woo! Well, it finally happened. Gets the best of us. I dropped the clay. I'm down to my last piece. Can't drop it again. It gets difficult once you start getting on these more than 90-degree angles. But it happens. Just keep on trucking. Alright, we got this thing shimmied into the garage. I'm gonna let it hang out, dry off a little bit more, finish my second cup of coffee, and then we're gonna go ahead and tape off all the plastics. So I get on average about 0 people that ask me, well, Shane, why are you gonna clay bar this thing? It's brand new. It looks beautiful. Why are you even doing this? Why are you here? Well, I'll tell you. This is 3 years old. To 2020. So in those 3 years, whether it's been clay barred before or not, it's gonna have embedded contaminants from whatever. It could have been from last week, but we don't want anything on the surface when we're polishing. As much as we can help it, we want it all pure paint only. Pure paint only. All right. So that way, when we're polishing, we're not introducing any new swirls, any new holograms. We're not grinding any little pieces of rock or tree sap into the paint. Everything that we're doing from this point forward is going to be improvement. So, there you go. That's the reason why we clay bar before we polish. We got to get everything off of it, get it as pure as we can. Just like before we install the coating on this, we have to wipe it down with isopropyl alcohol to remove any polishing oils, any impurities that will cause the coating not to be able to bond with the painted surface. So I figured out how to get the GoPro doing the time lapses a little bit better. A different setting, something that I missed. You know, it takes a little while. But I'm going to go ahead and film a lot of the polishing process for you guys to see. I know I missed out on that one on the BMW, and I'm working on it. You know, nobody's perfect. I'm not all that great in front of the camera, but I'm trying. So I'm going to take you guys along for that ride. I'm going to finish up this cup of coffee, and then we'll get to rocking and rolling. All right, got the test panel ready. Got to put my fingers on it to get the camera to focus. You can see around the light lots of those little scratches and swirls. Up top, let's see if we can catch it. Right there. You can see the swoop. There's some very fine micro marring on the top. I'll try it with this light. There it is. We're going to take that out. So here is what we've got. It's perfect. There's no marring. There's no anything. Just pure paint. Little rock chips. But this is looking really good for just a one step. We're getting... Come on. All of that to nothing. There's still a few big ones. I think there's one down here somewhere. But again, it's really hard to get this thing to focus. But for a one step, we are getting like 90%. That's great news. Rawr. Holy cow. That is wild. I'm about to get rid of all that. Alright, so you see like right here, there's a few of them, these little water spots. That's a good one right there. These aren't just coming out with the polish. This is another reason why putting protection on paint is so important. You can see all these super hard water spots. I mean, it's just torn up. So this is what we're getting out of it. Well, before I get to that, we're gonna two-step this hood. We're gonna two-step the roof. We're gonna two-step the trunk lid, because that's gonna take these water spots out. And I mean, we're not, you know, this is around $1,000 job. We're not gonna leave water spots on the paint. It's just not gonna happen. So kind of sucks on our end. You know, we got to take the extra time to go over this hood twice. We're going first with the cutting compound, and then we go back over it with polish. So that cutting compound, you can just barely see the little sparkles. Right there is perfect. That is called micro marring. So because of the aggressive nature of that polishing compound, it's kind of like toothpaste. If you rub it in your fingers like that and you can feel the grit, same deal there. So it takes out a lot of the scratches, like the really deep ones, but it leaves behind micro scratches, and that's the purpose of coming behind it with a polish. The polish will remove that micro marring, make it look something like... Nope, I forgot. I cut that too. I'll have to pull an example out and show y'all. But aside from that, I'm done down the side. The side is looking gorgeous. I can't wait to see what it looks like with ceramic coating on it. It's gonna be insane. All right. I would say that is about 1,000 times better. I'm absolutely satisfied with letting this thing leave the stable with that. That made such a difference. There's still just a few like really, really deep scratches, and you can just barely see one of the water spots in the center, but short of wet sanding, there's not really much else that we could do about that. That's why, again, having a sacrificial layer on top of the paint is so crucial, because instead of cutting away the clear coat or etching out the clear coat, I guess in its initial stage, the ceramic coating or the sealant or whatever on top of it would be the sacrificial layer, and then you're left with all the paint underneath it. If you can imagine, there's paint, well, obviously metal, then primer, then paint, then clear coat. If you have ceramic or sealant or whatever, you add a little bit on top. Say a bird poops on it, you know, park it next to well water sprinklers, you have water spots all over it, take that ceramic coat away, and you're left with paint. But if you're there and all you have is, well, you know, clear coat, then you're taking away the clear. It's getting really, really, really thin. So we didn't really take a lot off of here. I'm only using a dual action polisher. I didn't whip out a rotary on it or anything like that. But for the work that we just put into it, it's, you know, not as profitable for us, but it's what needed to be done. It was the right thing to do. And 10 times out of 10, we're going to do the right thing. But that reflection after doing that is just awesome. See my blimp flying high. Wow. Hey guys, so it is almost 5 o'clock. It is absolutely just hot as can be. So we've got all the paint correction done. I'm getting down to what the guys that I look up to refer to as framing, which can be done in a few different steps. But in this instance, we have to wipe the paint down with isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol, 93%. When I do that, I like to go ahead and get all the spots around the badges taken care of, all of the jams, all these little nooks and crannies, because this paint can look beautiful, right? And I have an example right over here. This paint can look great, but if you forget all the little stuff, you know, it's just not going to show through. So like this is all wax residue, some sort of something. It looks like wax residue to me, if it'll focus. Alright, it was doing good over here. Focus on my finger. There we go. So, boom. This is what detailing is all about. All about the details. So I'm going to continue on getting around all these little nooks and crannies. Goodness gracious, this thing is having just some trouble focusing. Focus. Right here. Right here. Yep, so after I do that, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the game plan together, figuring out what we're going to do about installing the coating. Still got the interior left, got the engine bay to mess around with, and then obviously the wheels. Those are already coated, they're just getting cleaned up. Just all the little stuff left aside from that ceramic coat. So I'll probably take a time lapse of the ceramic coating. I'm not too concerned with taking a time lapse of all the framing, stuff like that. So, but I mean, without even seeing it in the sun, that sneak peek. Woo! Good night. That thing is shiny. We're having fun. So it's a little bit after 7 o'clock in the evening time. Still working on this thing. So, what are you doing up there, Spaz? Anyways, so I finished everything, did my alcohol wipe down. And the sun sets in the back, so I opened up the garage doors. Got this guy in here working for free. And I forgot, it's been a while since I've been in the game. And I forgot that we used to mix this isopropyl alcohol with water to add lubricity. And I sure didn't. And when I was telling you about that micromarring earlier, I basically caked the whole thing. The whole thing. It's not bad. It comes out with 1 or 2 passes with a polishing pad, but you can see it right there to the right of the light. Over that whole perfect finish. But like I said, I just fixed it right here. It's gone. It comes off super easy. I tested the coating on this panel just to see how it reacted. It took it like a champ. It looks so good. So I wasn't able to really get a good eye. I'm glad I checked it in the sun. It's a crucial step. If you can do it, definitely do it. But I started playing around with my lights. I have these. I think they're halogens. I've got some LEDs down there. I tried these. Couldn't see anything. The only thing that I can see these really well with is my little headlamp. So I'm about to turn all the lights off. Chase after all the stuff with my headlamp. Try to get it taken care of. So yeah, for future reference, isopropyl alcohol does not have any lubricity. It dries instantly, and it will mar up soft paint. So, not the end of the world, but it's going to set me back quite a bit. So, we'll still be on schedule for pickup and all that, but I'm just working a little bit more than I really wanted to. So, but you know what? We got to do what it takes. Like I said earlier, 10 times out of 10, we're going to do it the right way. Oh man, I don't even know what time it is. Almost 10 o'clock. What does that put us at? 6 a.m. to 6 is 12. I don't know. It's been a long time. But she's coated. I didn't get to take a time lapse of the coating. I just wanted to make sure that with everything that had happened today, that didn't go wrong. So I didn't mess with the GoPro, I didn't do any of that. Of course, to add on to it, halfway through the coating, this, I guess this is a ballast, whatever this is, this light, it popped and started smoking, like way bad. So I had to run over there and shut the power off and wear a headlamp, run extension cords from this side. Half the lights are off in the garage. I don't know if that's like easily seen on video, but I was hoping to get everything done today. That just didn't happen, but it's okay. He's not picking it up till tomorrow around 6. So we still got to get the wheels, the you know, in there, and then engine bay, interior, and yeah, it's been real. So I'll get some, I don't think I've really got, aside from that red truck, any good like interior shots. This one isn't necessarily dirty, but whatever the dressing is in there is dusty, and it's holding that dust in on top of it. So we'll get that all dolled up. But anyways, I'm gonna go take a shower, go to bed, and get rested up for tomorrow. Until then. Good morning, everybody. It is just a little bit after 8 o'clock. I've already been in here for about an hour. I've been working on getting the wheels, the wheel wells, brake calipers, all that jazz dialed in. I'm about to start on the interior. I wanted to walk you guys through here real quick because It looks really good. Alright, let's turn the flash on. Let's see. So right up here, you can see, I already wiped down most of this in the back. All this little stuff stuck to it. It's whatever the dressing is, leaves a little bit of residue behind. And that residue just grabs all the dust. So even though from back here, wow, that's one clean door. That looks amazing. Psych. Look at that. Nasty. So when we're done with it, that'll all be gone. It's not like dirty. You know, there's not really many stains. I think the dirtiest part of this thing is probably the driver's side floor mat. There was actually, I wish I got a picture of it. There was a cobweb right here. So back seats definitely don't get much use at all. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start dialing in this interior. And the only things we have left after that is wiping the glass down, getting in the engine bay, and doing all the jams around it. And then we're good to go. Yeah! I'm sure that y'all can tell through some of my videos that I like antiquing. I like buying antique stuff. It's really cool. So one day we were out and I found this guy still in the bag, little fender cover, and I thought, well, how perfect would that be for protecting door jams? You know, when you're running the vacuum like that, you don't want to be dragging this all over this lip, all over this, scratching it up. So this thing works perfect. What's up, guys? It is about 6 p.m. on Sunday. Just waiting for pickup. We are all got it pulled around front, and this thing is just gleaming. Oh, it looks so good. Heck yeah. Alright, so I wanted to talk briefly about the portion in the video that I uploaded where I micro-marred the finish with the microfiber towel. It was a minor issue. It was something that, you know, we easily fixed. It was just a little bit of a setback, a little bit of a nuisance. You know, you get that paint finished perfect, and then you go to look at it under the light and, man, that happened. But we were able to get it fixed. The customer was absolutely pleased. But the reason why I chose to put that in there is because everybody makes mistakes. You know, the process doesn't always go to plan every time. There are little setbacks, little things that happen a lot. with being a business owner or being an employee. So I feel that it's important to be as transparent as possible with you guys and show the ways that I choose to improvise, adapt, and overcome the things that happen on the day-to-day jobs. So, you know, it might even end up being a reference for somebody that has that issue and they look it up and stumble across this video. You know, it's important. So again, I just want to be as transparent with you guys as possible. It's not only me showing you the vehicles that we get to work on, you know, the customers that bring these to us that were so gracious for the business, but it's also the business aspect, you know, the behind the scenes. It's not just the movie of detailing. It's, you know, me running a business and me taking you guys along for all of the things that happen. So again, as I always say, I really appreciate you guys following along and watching me grow personally, my business grow, and everything. So stay tuned for the next one.